there's a number of potential catalysts. And I don't like saying this because I don't like relying on catalysts. And I'm not relying on catalysts. And this is not something I'm actually hoping for. But the Biden administration just passed the funding bill that allocated, amongst other things, $2.7 billion to the nuclear industry domestically. A lot of that money is going to support the nuclear fuel cycle in this country, uranium conversion and enrichment, and especially enrichment, because enrichment is the fabricating fuel, which we have domestically, fuel fabrication capacity. We have insufficient enrichment capacity to operate the fleet. We're highly, highly reliant on Russia. So the past couple of years, U.S. utilities have pulled forward a lot of their legacy contracts with Russian enrichers to get that material because they're concerned about it being cut off or being sanctioned.
Sure.
There's currently legislation sitting on the Senate that could see a vote today or tomorrow or next week or next month, we don't know when, that aims to ban the importation of Russian uranium. And this would be a major shakeup for the industry. As I said, the United States is about 25% of global demand. It's the largest fleet in the world for nuclear power plants. So if this passes, technically there will be waivers within this bill out to 2028, where a nuclear utility can say, I can't find this material anywhere else. I need to get my Russian enrichment. I need to get that material. And those waivers technically will be granted. Right. But there's also the possibility that there will be some sort of retaliatory move by Russia to actually ban exporting the material if it's officially sanctioned. So that's not something we're hoping for or counting on, but there is a chance that both of these things happen. We don't see that. Yeah, we don't see it being priced into the physical market yet. If the physical market believes that that's going to happen, we're going to see the price move. If it does actually happen, it's going to be a major, major driver of higher prices, at least for a short period of time.
Sure.
But it does look to us like this funding was one of those first steps to support domestic enrichment in order to be able to cut off the source that the country is reliant upon. We don't want the lights to go out. It's to almost 20% of the grid in this country. It's absolutely vital. So that's one thing that could happen, and it could happen in the next couple of weeks. It could happen 6 months from now. It could not happen at all. Again, we're not betting on it.
Sure. Yeah.
But
it's a black swan. You just, you don't know if they'll ever happen, but we just know that they exist. So.
Right. But really the big picture is that this sector is now growing, 4 or 5% compound annual. We're talking about demand for nuclear. We're seeing life extensions across the board. We're seeing Belgium, that just shut down 2 reactors last year, wanting to life extend their remaining reactors. France is life extending. UK is life extending. The US, since the US passed the Inflation Reduction Act that has clean energy production and clean energy investment tax credits, every single nuclear utility that's operating a nuclear power plant in this country is life extending their plants. All of them. They're all applying for life extensions. Japan, just today, I read news this morning, Japan is wanting to do a 20-year life extension from one of their restarted reactors. They also have a petition by the local communities around a very large boiling water reactor that is set to restart later this year, potentially. So Japan is moving towards those restarts. Then we have this data center AI driver, potentially. Small modular reactors are gaining a lot of momentum around the world. Canada's building 4 GE Hitachi BWRX-300 small modular reactors. Are currently building them right now at Darlington in Ontario. There's a lot of drivers for growth, but even if we parse out these potential drivers, like small modular reactors, we can look at the existing fleet. We can look at the reactors under construction, which I think there's 55, 54 right now globally, the ones that'll hit the grid in the next 5 years. And we can calculate that demand pretty easily. There's a lot of buying that nuclear utilities have to do in the next 5 years in a supply constrained environment. The gears are turning on the supply response. We're seeing small projects start to trickle in. But the big projects that are needed, like NextGen's Rook 1, the Arrow deposit, Denison's Phoenix, Global Atomic Dawson, of course, Kazatompром's ramp, all of those things are years away. And between now and then, I believe that the buying pressure just from the industry, not financial speculation, not hedge funds, just industry buying is going to keep pressure under the price.